What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Viall Files Bachelor Recap. We have a wonderful guest. Lauren Zima returns. One of your favorites as far as recapping all things Bachelor and Bachelorette related. And after having recorded this with her, I'm so glad that we had her on because what a great episode to break everything down as we transition fully from Clare to Tayshia, bring in some new guys.
It's fresh.
And figure it all out. Tune in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kalyn Allen joins us.
Allen.
For those of you who don't know Kalyn, he is a wonderful personality, fun, talented. He has a new Christmas album out. We talk about that, his career, what it's like working for Ellen.
Yep. Ellen discovered him.
His thoughts on what's been going on.
Yep.
And I think you'll really quite enjoy it. Other than that, don't forget to subscribe, rate us 5 stars. If you're looking for more Bachelor content, I do have a recap Patreon of my season on The Bachelor. Make sure to check that out. It's on my Instagram.
It's good. It's not bad.
Great.
It's pretty good. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I've been watching some. It's pretty entertaining, I have to say.
Thank you.
It's impressive. You do a lot of stuff.
Lauren Zima, everybody. Lauren, hi.
Hi, Nick.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I always thoroughly enjoy talking about the show with you, and I know my audience does as well. So,
same. I love being here. Thank you for having me here. And it's always nice when we can graduate to a full conversation instead of just like random late night texts after the episode.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
It is the best. And I thought this would be a great episode. I didn't even realize how perfect it was to have you here until after you said you would come on to kind of break down this, what continues to be, as your lover would say.
Oh, that's right. He's the lover.
Never seen before. Like this never happens. This is all just new territory for a show that's been on
Almost 20 years.
Yeah, and 40 some seasons of,
How did they do it? How do they do it if they don't win an Emmy for this season? And I'm going to say they probably won't because I don't think they've ever even been nominated, which I consider to be a travesty. But what they have pulled off.
Yeah,
this is excellent television.
There's a lot of accusations of unverified conspiracy theories in the world that we have. But I think The Bachelor not being nominated for an Emmy is a legitimate one, given the fact that, like,
it's upsetting. It's a there is a category for reality TV. Nominate this show.
When you compare like other great shows that have won, but like how The Bachelor never,
it's wild.
There's like a reason why. I don't know what it is, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the show.
It's like how superhero movies don't get the Oscar nominations they could get. Like everybody's watching this. It's amazing television. It is captivating. Emmy push for 2021. I'm starting it now. Okay. That's why I'm here today. Goodbye.
And the winner for reality program is Shark Tank.
So the episode kicks off. Tayshia walks in. She looks great.
Nick, I have a crush on Tayshia at this point.
She's a very attractive person.
She took my breath away. I loved her dress. Please give me your thoughts. You're a fashionable guy.
I think she continues to look really nice. I honestly don't remember. What did the dress look like?
It was kind of a deep green and gold.
And it was like super low in the back.
Oh, stunning. She was glowing her hair.
She's a beautiful person.
Yes.
And in a unique, like she has her features. I don't know what it is. She pops on TV. Like it's, there's a lot of great looking people and she uniquely, like other people, it's just like, there's this,
yes, the Tayshia pop.
Yeah, it pops. I don't know what it is. Some people pop. Some people are just hot. She pops.
She was the wind of change blowing over the driveway and into our hearts, I think.
Yeah. So the guys, and not surprisingly, are thrilled.
I mean, let me get your perspective on this because I will say that last week when it was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay. I'm like, why wouldn't you stay?
That was.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I feel like most of the guys were just like, yeah, I'm staying.
There's no question in my mind because what's going on outside of La Quinta? The world is in lockdown. Literally, what are you leaving for? Here, you can hug people. You can get hugs. 2, they're all frustrated with Clare. So even though they don't know who's coming, they are all frustrated. Why wouldn't you stay?
Yeah. Which I feel like the tone that was aired was that there wasn't some mass rebellion or some real like. What turns out, Jason followed through. Like the only person who was really reluctant was Jason, and as we know, not to jump ahead, that he opted out. Which,
I mean, I just want to pour one out for Jason and his whole state. That date that man went on, that therapy, spiritual retreat in the desert date where he poured his heart out.
She's like the only one who did it.
I know.
He'll be back on Paradise.
I hope so.
I mean, I'm confident that he'll be given the opportunity. Because he's willing to open up. He's willing to talk. He was a very expressive person. Now he already has a story. I was in love with Clare, and he really owned that.
Yeah, I mean, for him to say I was in love with Clare, I'm
multiple times.
Lord, we are all falling in love. But I also really like the way he left when he told Tayshia, "Look, these other guys are really here for you." I thought it was mature. It did make me think. I really do think they cast some solid guys on this season, and we just haven't gotten to
Generally, I do like the guys.
Yeah.
I've been, I guess we'll just wrap up Jason here.
I'm blown away.
But Jason was like someone where it's like at first, like, he looks like a teddy bear. Then he had that date, and it was like, this guy, like, how dark is this guy's past?
But like, we're all talking about being excited about this guy who also admitted that his like things were like, I'm mean. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It was like, I'm manipulative. I'm mean. It was like, wow, that's like, I don't know if this is like some
like,
Machiavellian honesty that just, but his exit was endearing and nice. And it was a nice moment for him. And, I wish him all the best. And I do hope he comes back on Paradise because of his willingness to say all the things he said on TV, which ultimately makes good TV.
The redemption story we didn't see coming. He had this beautiful exit. I loved that he had that moment. And, I think he got a lot of therapizing done real quick on that one-on-one date. I think he really sped through some personal work. So put him on the beach. I'm excited.
Yeah. So all the best to you, Jason.
All the best. So Tayshia comes in.
Guys are excited.
I'm excited. You excited?
For Tayshia?
Yes.
Sure. Well, here's the thing. I think we talked about, I didn't realize, and I'm assuming Bachelor Nation will agree, just how much I appreciated getting back to some normal format and normalcy of the show. And last night, Tayshia was an incredible amount of breath of fresh air of like just allowing the process to happen where, Clare seemed to be very steadfast and like, this is my journey and this is how I want to go, which respect to her for wanting to do that. But it got away from like what we're all used to and giving an opportunity to get to know some of these guys. And as a viewer, it was a breath of fresh air of being like, okay, well, just now we can kind of settle into the show because up until this point, this whole season's been just a chaotic mess.
I feel we're getting a breath of fresh as a nation in so many ways this week. I kept saying breath of fresh. It was the exact phrase I used because, and I think that it is kind of working out in this beautiful way where we had just this extreme love story with Clare and Dale, and now we are getting kind of back to basics with Tayshia. Yeah. And I do, Clare and Tayshia were coming in with such different mindsets. What I keep going back to with Clare is I have this empathy for her because, good Lord, it was, I think, her 5th season on the show. She said it herself many times. She's 39. She's ready to find love. And then on top of that, she's quarantined alone for months. So Clare came in with a mindset of, I've been waiting for this. Mm-hmm. And I think Tayshia's bopping in here like, well, kind of thought it was over, but now it's happening. So happy to be here. Great.
Yeah. When she was like, oh, if you told me a week ago, like, that seems like a very honest statement. Yeah. Tayshia's like playing with, when you say like playing with house money, Tayshia's playing with house money where it's just like, this is all just rainbows and butterflies.
Right.
So far. I mean, like right now, we'll see.
We'll see.
In general, like, I've mentioned that I sometimes, get a little. Claire's exciting. Say what you want. There's an excitement there. I hope that once we get through this breath of fresh air, for all the reasons we loved Hannah Brown as a Bachelorette, I hope for some organic drama from Tayshia. And there is a point where right now it's great. Chris comes by. She's like, "Can I steal you?" Tayshia's like, "Sure, Chris." Like, it's all just very effortless with Tayshia. She's very agreeable in the process. I'm really curious when she hits a wall of like, this feels fucked up. I feel, how is Tayshia going to react? And I want to see the authentic reaction that we got from Hannah Brown when it hit a wall that, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I think it's, yes. And I think that Tayshia, her authentic reaction will come from, I've met Tayshia and interviewed her several times. She's like a pretty easygoing person. I think Claire's emotions are all on the surface, and Tayshia is going to have to dig deep and really find it in there.
Yeah.
And it's the yin and yang. Claire, we had so much emotion so fast. Tayshia, it's going to be, okay, you're this breath of easygoing, but like dig in now. Yeah,
it's like literally the exact opposite.
Yes.
Like even Tayshia was on this podcast. Very nice, very sweet, but it was just like, okay, there's what I really want to say, and there's what I think will be fine to say, and it's fine. Which is totally, it's polite, it's not offensive, it's all great.
Well, and people ask me a lot, do you like this person or this person? Because, I interview you guys and get to know everybody a little bit and all that. And there's such a big difference between like, do you like someone and do you think someone's great television? And that's what frustrates me too about some of the hate Claire's getting.
For sure.
I'm like, you guys, the ratings are huge. We've all loved watching this.
That's great.
I have no hate for Claire. Yes, I hope her and Dale are happy, and I want nothing but the best for them. And it's been an amazing season with her.
Here's a perfect example. Blake. Now.
Blake with the beard. Yes, had to remember. Don't know these guys that well.
Blake, if you're listening, I'm just going to say some things.
Wow.
I don't know Blake as a person, as we know.
Yes, that's true. Fact.
I love to hate Blake as a character. He's obnoxious, annoying. He's just constantly complaining. I don't know who he is as a person. He might be, quite honestly, he seems like an interesting person I'd like to meet in person because he seems to be so willing to just emote. But as a character, I find him so obnoxious in this environment. Now, I don't hate Blake. Yeah. I don't know him, and he might be a really neat guy. From what I'm seeing, I enjoy hating him. Does that make sense? As a character.
I think we all have it's like hate watching. Yes, a lot of people do that with these shows. Interesting. What bothers you about Blake?
It's just, just the comments last week about, well, I looked this up about like all. It's like, just chill out. It's this constant like.
But he did that flip that you were like, oh, God, I hope he does that flip because that's good TV.
Now he's just all for, it's just a little much. Everything's a big deal to Blake, and he likes to whine and complain. And I think he seems a bit full of shit.
Interesting. Okay, I don't feel that way about Blake. I suppose I feel like I'm glad he's speaking all these things out. Yeah, because I'm like, it's great TV.
I'm glad he's not. No, I'm very, like, again, I enjoy watching him. I like it when he comes on the screen and says something that makes me roll my eyes. Like, I'm like, oh,
but I was not rolling my eyes when he said last week, Claire, this seems really short, you and this Dale guy. How can she know after this amount of time? I'm like, yes, that's a question I have as well, Blake with the beard. Yes.
I get what you're saying, and you're right, but I looked at it from the point of like, who are you, Blake, to have like this is the show.
Yeah.
And it read to me as like kind of the jealous ex. It's just like, I can't believe you. It's like, I don't know. This does happen. The show is literally based on this premise. I mean, this was a little faster, but it's,
I think we were dealing with some guys who did not I mean, we saw how much they were just waiting in that room. And I don't think that they had the full understanding of Clare and Dale's feelings for each other. And in Blake's mind, he and Clare have kissed several times and they were messaging a little bit over the summer. And I think he was thinking maybe he still kind of had a shot if she could get past this Dale thing. So yeah, he probably felt a little dumped. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love things that are reliable, easy, and something makes me better and use every day. Bubs. Put it in my smoothie this morning. Bubs all-natural collagen protein that helps me feel like a normal person. Keeps the gears moving, if you will. Our bodies make less and less collagen as we get older.
It says your body starts aging at the age of 20. Did you know that? In your mid-20s.
Makes sense. And,
That makes me
I put it in my smoothie, of which I put bananas and celery and spinach and strawberries and blueberries, orange juice, ice, and Bubs all natural. And it's delicious, and I don't even know what's in there.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
So I get protein, I get collagen, I feel more mobile, I have less joint pain, it helps me with my exercise recovery, I get my gains.
Yeah. And you don't have to put it in a smoothie, you can put it in your coffee or your tea, you can just mix it right in, which is nice because it kind of doesn't get that weird chalky
It does not get chalky at all. 100% sustainable source, grass-fed, pasteurized, raised collagen proteins, no flavors, no artificial extras. No gritty texture. Mixes easily into hot chocolate, coffee, a smoothie. So get 20% off your first order when you use promo code VIALL at bubsnaturals.com. That's 20% off with promo code VIALL at BUBSnaturals.com. Well, if you listen to the show, you know that we love a great subscription boxes. And there's subscription boxes are a thing. They try to make convenience. If we're in a time of COVID and you like to get boxes of things you love on a regular ongoing basis. Well, sometimes that can get a little cumbersome and how many options or what's the best for me? Well, Cratejoy is making that easy. It's a one-stop shop for all your subscription box needs.
Yeah.
Cratejoy makes it easy to find that perfect gift for anyone or everyone in your life. The hardest part of buying gifts is getting something cool and unique. Cratejoy does it all. I gotta say, it's pretty incredible how awesome Cratejoy brings these incredible subscription boxes together so you can deliver the experience to everyone on your list. They make you look like Santa Claus.
Yeah. And
who doesn't want to look like Santa Claus?
They have really, really cool boxes. Did you know they have there's a thing that's a crime box? So if somebody in your family loves all those murder shows and stuff like that, you can send them a crime box and they can solve their own mysteries.
Boxes to boost each version of you with self-care and personal growth. Cool cocktail kits and snacks for your next virtual happy hour. Monthly book clubs. They have it all, people. So
date nights.
So get 30% off your first box when you sign up at cratejoy.com/VIALL. That's right. Sign up today at cratejoy.com/VIALL to get 30% off your first box and early access to all Cratejoy holiday specials. Cratejoy, get joy delivered right to your door.
It was interesting, though. I was seeing some people say he's acting like Clare owes him something. And no, Clare didn't owe him anything. It's not like they were dating or anything like that.
Yeah, and again, that's just how it read. Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. We are seeing parts of who these guys are.
We don't
know very
them
controlled
at
atmosphere,
all. Yeah.
and
we don't know them at all. I think normally, for the normal pace of a season. I mean, watching this week, I was still like Brendan. I'm didn't know who he was. Forgot he was there. Who knew? I don't know these guys' names.
That was my favorite part of this episode because it was it really was. We're starting over. Out of nowhere, Brendan comes on, who I actually liked right away. I was just he's uniquely attractive, like not traditionally. Mm-hmm. Got nice eyes. I'm support my curly haired friends.
Yes.
If Brandon was, if he was good at reading maps, like all the guys on the election, he has that nerdy look. He would be like, imagine if he worked for like one of those news networks and he was just like super smart and reading maps. Twitter would be going nuts over Brandon. In Bachelor world, we like our traditionally handsome people.
He is totally nerd cute. Cannot figure out for the life of me why he brought a turtleneck to the desert in July. Why is he wearing that?
I actually didn't even think about that.
Thank you. I actually wrote that down. I was like, it's 120 degrees and he's wearing a turtleneck to meet her this evening. And she mentions it like, why are you wearing a turtleneck in the desert?
I've wondered if some of them packed wrong. Have you noticed that they've been wearing like a lot of white t-shirts? I've been wondering, did they not realize how incredibly hot it was going to be? 120 degrees sometimes in Palm Springs.
Yeah, no, I think they definitely didn't realize.
No.
But
they still brought suits to try and look nice, but it's like also you're wearing a suit at 120 degrees.
Yeah.
And he brought a turtleneck. And you know what? Now Zach. I thought Zach was very funny on the group date with the
Zach C.
Oh gosh, is there more than one Zach? Okay, he was.
Well, the other Zach is gone. So
yes, of course, yes. So the Zach who's left, I was kind of laughing. He was sort of funny on the group date with the splash ball or whatever it was. It was a breath of fresh, not only to have Tayshia, but to learn about the other characters that are on this television show. Yes.
I got Jay and Zach confused.
Oh.
Yeah, that's easy. That's an easy one to do, I think.
Yeah, all of a sudden Zach C, it seems like he's going to be a prominent character.
Zach was the penny guy, right? He was the one who threw the penny in the fountain.
Oh, don't remember that. But I know in the promo, we see him saying to Tayshia, I'm falling in love with you.
Yeah, no, there was a shot of like a silhouette, and it looked like Zach C, and it looked like a
the part where
shot.
she has that big poofy dress on.
Yeah,
it did kind of look like his hairline.
It looked like him.
What if Tayshia just gets married?
Oh my God. Well, she already said that about one of them last night. She said that about Brendan. She was like, I could marry him. This is the person I can fall in love with. But she also said that about Zach when they were at the fountain throwing the pennies in the fountain.
I was a bit triggered. I was like, Tayshia, please don't pick the guy right now. I can't. Yeah. Please don't do this. That's
just
Bachelor.
That's what we call a Clare hangover, because in normal Bachelor world, we expect that night
the normal chatter. Yeah,
I see my husband in this room, but this is coming off the heels of Clare.
Yeah,
and we just want to give it's a total Clare hangover.
You're so right, and let's call it that. And I felt myself tensing up, and I needed to drink a water.
Yeah.
I was like, please, no, don't say you can see. No, don't. You can't see yourself having kids with him. No. Just like I liked that she gave Spencer that first impression rose because basically she was just like, he's hot. I'm like, great.
Let's
good. He's hot.
Let's talk about the new guys coming in.
Yes.
Spencer. There was Spencer. Then there was. Do we have the new guys here?
I only remember Spencer.
We have Peter, the real estate mustache. 10 siblings. Already, I'm a fan.
You relate.
That's very specific. Not 9 siblings, not 12.
Yeah. What did you think of his mustache?
It's a strong move. That's bold. I actually quite liked it. It doesn't look that bad.
I have to say, I think at the end of the episode they were sort of making fun of it, and I was kind of like, I noticed it, but I don't know if I'd make fun of it. I kind of liked it.
I think it's going to be around.
It had some
some stray hairs, some hairs that were pointing in different directions.
I was told by some of the producers there was a guy on the show that really reminded them of me.
Triggering.
In a lot of very specific ways that they really liked. I don't know who it is, and I don't know why, and I don't think it's because he looks like you kind of thing.
Do you think it's him?
And I wonder if it might be Peter.
Because of the siblings?
But I don't know. But that might be a start. Because listen, he has 10 siblings. That's a very specific thing. That's something that's like people who go on the Bachelor franchise are friends because it's such a unique thing that no one else can relate to.
Well, I was not. The second Spencer walked out, I thought, oh, handsome man, nice scruff. I love a scruff. How much I applaud your
traditionally attractive.
Yes. But then the second he walked into the house, when he said, who scared Claire away? I was like, dude, what an entrance. He a douche. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
I actually thought that was funny. I think that's funny.
Shocking.
I can't believe it.
But he also...
Maybe he's the one that they were reminded of.
He's dripping in fuckboy kind of vibes.
An energy. He continued throughout the episode. He was, I think it was Kenny, who has become kind of a boy band manager of all the boys in this band. He's really the voice of reason in the house.
You're like, who would have thought?
And deep
V.
Yeah. He's like, what? I'm used to corralling guys, and let me do that here on this environment, and let me help and guide you all. So he tells Spencer, I don't know what word he used. I think they bleeped it out. I don't know if he called him a douche or I don't know. But I I did think Spencer was coming off a little arrogant, like he was like, I've come in here to save the day. Yeah.
And it was just like he's obviously a good-looking guy. He's from San Diego, surfer guy. He just seemed way too, like...
He called him a dick.
He just seemed... Yeah. He seemed way too, like...
Overconfident?
Well, sure, clearly, but like he walked into a very toxic environment for him. You know what I'm saying? He was just like...
So he was kind of trying to make a joke and they were not.
He's just like... Yeah. He's incredibly charming and he's like, there's just no... I would like to see a little nervousness from this guy. He's just like...
Yeah.
Not one bit. And I think he's...
Like, dude, they were not ready for your energy. You that would have been overconfident in a normalized environment, but these guys are borderline traumatized.
So it just reads. Spencer just reads as like this, like this guy from San Diego who's just been hitting the bars and has had and no shame, a ton of sex with and there's a list of women who feel like he ghosted or screwed him up. I could be totally wrong.
But he came ready for Palm Springs. He had that Hawaiian shirt.
That's just how he reads. Like, he doesn't look particularly tall. He's very like he hits the gym. Like, he is very, but he has a tiny frame. So he's just like, that's like Spencer looks like he's maxed out his frame with all like the protein and arm curls that he could possibly do. And he's just like, how he didn't end up on the show to begin with, I don't know, but that's just my read. It's just like,
I mean,
it almost seems like a plan. It's like a too good to be true.
Yeah, that was interesting. And I had questions. I don't know if we're going to get answers about how long were these guys in quarantine? Were they intended for Claire? Were some of them brought in for Tayshia? Like, I don't know that. And
I don't think we'll ever get through.
Yeah, I don't think we will either. But again, I just loved that Tayshia gave him the first impression rose, seemingly just because hot energy. Like, great, yes. I don't want anyone to name their husband here tonight. Been there, done that. Breath of fresh, hot energy. Scruff vibes.
It was really interesting. I don't know if you had this. I actually actively had this thought while watching it because there's this weird... reality. Like, we've been watching this for a couple weeks, right? We haven't really gotten to know the guys, but we've seen these guys.
Yes.
And we see this collection of this bond between these guys because Claire went and talked to them. And then we see these new guys come in, right? But as a viewer, it's like I had to remind myself, like, Tayshia just showed up. Mm-hmm. These guys just showed up. So as far as Tayshia's concerned, it's a total even playing field. Like, for example, like, Bennett is no different to Tayshia than Spencer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Where like when I showed up on Caitlyn's season 4 weeks late, it was Caitlyn. Caitlyn still had this like connection with like all these other guys were there. She had gone on dates. She was in the bubble with these guys. Tayshia relates more to Spencer
totally.
than she does. These guys have been there for God knows how long.
Well, I'm sure that she had, there were a couple things I was happy to see. One, the guys clearly blown away by her when she walked in. Their reactions were like they stood up when she walked in. They were clearly as awestruck as I was by her beauty. And they all seemed so excited. I think Ivan was like, I'm excited. She's more my speed. And Easy and Bennett, they were all so excited to see her. And then I thought that Tayshia told them, honestly, what they needed to hear. And I would imagine, I don't know, I'd be really interested to know how much producers explained to her about like the mental and emotional state they were in. Because she walked in and she said, I am really excited to be here. I am grateful you are here. I want to get to know you. And I was like, that's what these guys need to hear right now.
Totally. That's what I needed to hear. Yeah. Again, it was just like, oh my God, like, oh, The Bachelorette.
Yes.
Like we hadn't been watching The Bachelorette the past few weeks. It was some sort of like mutation of...
a spinoff we didn't see coming.
Right? That's just kind of how it felt.
Yeah. And, I mean, we're going to get to the Clare Dale sit down. But again, I do think I give Claire empathy for the mindset of being in quarantine for months and just looking these guys up on her phone for months. Like, I get that. But Tayshia just felt easy and happy. And that was what we needed. Yeah,
it was really nice to watch. It was like
we were enjoying ourselves. I don't remember the other guys. I remember Spencer. I remember mustache guy who I think you just told me his name was Peter. I don't remember the rest of the new guys. I think do we have 2 or 3 other new ones?
We have Peter, Spencer. Who else? A guy with a salmon jacket. I remember this. He came out with a salmon jacket. I saw
which felt like a thing. I mean, a nod. Yeah. Yes. I've also liked watching.
Who else? Was that?
I don't know.
So we have Spencer, Montel, Peter, and Noah. Was that?
Okay.
So was it Noah or Montel who had the slammin' jacket?
Salmon jacket.
Salmon. Noah the registered nurse? I don't remember.
Know. It's okay. We were enjoying ourselves. We were wrapped up in the breath of fresh air.
I don't remember Noah the registered nurse at all.
I don't either, but we were just waving around in the winds of change and we didn't know.
As a new homeowner, I got to say, loving my green pans.
Green pans?
I won't say, but I was in a store that has all the nicest pans and cooking kitchenware, and green pan was in there, and I was like, I got the best of the best. It's nonstick. It's super easy to clean. It cooks evenly. If you're a cooker, I'm not a chef, but I like to cook. It's important to have things that cook food evenly, and green pan does that.
It's because it's ceramic.
Is that what it is? Is that why? Yeah. Either way, I love it. Since 2007, millions of people across the globe have joined the green pan ceramic nonstick revolution. Green Pan's founder discovered that non-traditional stick pans were made with plastic coating that can turn toxic with heat. Ugh. They set out to create a new alternative. They invented the ceramic non-stick cookware category and are pioneers in creating cookware without harmful toxins like PFOA, lead, and cadmium.
That's so crazy that you're like.
That's crazy, and it makes a lot of sense when you heat things up. They have chemical releases sometimes, and it's certainly just feels good in the mind. It's great for my mental health knowing that I'm cooking with fantastic cookware, and it's I'm not damaging my body by putting harmful toxins in it just because I want to cook an egg.
Yeah.
You know? Right now, Green Pan has an exclusive offer just for Viall listeners. If you go to greenpan.us and use promo code VIALL, you'll receive 30% off your entire order, plus free shipping on orders over $50. When you buy one pan or a whole set, that's 30% off. So head to greenpan.us and use promo code VIALL. You'll love your green pan. And it's a perfect gift. What a great gift.
It is a good gift.
Get yourself a gift. Get some good cookware. Also, this looks good. Just looks great. Oh, my God. I love my Theragun. No, I mean, I was doing some work on the computer, and I got a little stiffness in my neck, and usually I'd I should get a massage, and I just nope, Theragun, gone. And by gone, I mean the stiffness in my neck. It's just always there. It's just it's the only thing in your life you always want around. Most things you never want around all the time.
You love your Theragun like people love their children.
Oh my God, kids get on your nerves.
Yeah,
Theragun's never got on anyone's nerves. It's only helped soothe your nerves. If you have kids, you should definitely need a Theragun.
Oh,
I mean, anyways, it's easy to use. Use it on yourself. If you're dating someone who obsessively asks for massages, oh my God, there's just no work. And then you look like a hero. It's super affordable. It's a fraction of the cost of having to pay for massages, which you can't even do now because, COVID. Try Theragun for 30 days. There is no substitute for the Theragun Gen 4 with an OLED screen, personalized Theragun app, and the quiet and power you need. Starting at only $199, that's a steal. Go to Theragun.com/VIALL right now and get your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's Theragun.com/VIALL. Theragun.com/VIALL.
So she has this night one, and I don't remember a ton of the interactions other than Spencer getting the rose. Because then did we go right into the Clare Dale sit down after that?
Yeah. So then
it was weird after the commercial break.
We got the season trailer.
Yes.
Right, of Tayshia. And I was like, wait, what? This has been on for 15 minutes.
I'm like, Tayshia's in the white dress. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, what's going on? And
I was really confused. Then your boyfriend showed up on the screen.
We came back from a commercial break. We were hit in the face with Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot. There was that funny moment. Was this a franchise first? On night one, Chris stole Tayshia, when he pulled her away.
He came
to
in
tell
from the
her
shadows
that the new guys were coming.
Chris is really working overtime this season.
He is.
Oh, I mean, I keep calling him the hardest working man in fall television this year.
Really?
Good Lord.
Fall television.
Yes.
She's like a fall television.
Yeah. He came in,
busy,
pulled Tayshia.
Yes. So anyway, then we come back from the commercial break, and yes, I was because I thought, we're getting this crazy season teaser. They want to remind us this is the Bachelorette. You're going to get the drama, but then we're going to go back and be on an easy group date or something. Oh no.
we're recording this before the show, so we don't have the benefit of seeing how Twitter reacts in real time. But I suspect they're going to lose their shit. Having, we get Tayshia, breath of fresh air, season trailer. Yeah, it's good to see Chris, but then I feel like Bachelor Nation has a little Clare and Dale fatigue.
Mm-hmm. Was this the after the final rose?
It certainly felt that way.
Is that what we would call this?
So why don't we? I'm curious. I'd love to know. I don't know if you had a conversation with Chris. Was it because they're just trying to move on from Clare and Dale? Because why not wait as an update? As this would seem like a really good time to air what they aired last night was in the tell-all episode.
I wonder if Claire asked for that.
To me, it seemed like something they did for Claire.
To have a good moment? To
give her moment with Dale. That's what it felt like. You would know more than I would.
I don't know what, I also keep looking at this season, obviously through the lens of COVID filming. And, when I interviewed Claire, she told me she never left. And I was also quite confused because then it seemed like, I think they said
that she left. She gone. They left quarantine at one point. Yeah.
Well, do you know when that was filmed?
No, I don't, because I don't know if Claire confused me when she told me she never left, because then they said she was in this happy couple weekend with Dale making salad.
A week ago, in Pennsylvania,
this? No. Well, no, I will say we got pictures. Entertainment Tonight, we bought pictures of Claire in the red dress that she's wearing in this weeks and weeks ago. So they did not film this super recently, unless she put the dress back on. Okay. So I wondered, did they film something with Clare and Dale because these people, they're now trapped in a house and we got to do something with them so they don't go crazy at some point?
Who knows?
I don't think so. But I think Claire wanted to I think that she was probably worried about the way people were going to look at her, and she wanted to wrap it up, and they did that for her. That's how it came across to me, because they were so concerned, and they kept bringing up the whole thing about how people were going to react to them. But she wants people to be happy for them.
I think Claire, every lead before her, just wants people to like her.
Yeah.
I understood where it was interesting that she said that, because if they filmed it weeks ago, it's she sort of had the forethought that people would react not happily to her and Dale. So that was interesting.
That's why I'm curious about the timing.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, but I am curious because if it's let's say a week after the engagement, then that's different than it could easily have been filmed after the season started airing.
It's interesting too. I see what you're saying about why didn't we wait and just air this later? And I don't know, maybe the thought is just get everybody focused on Tayshia now, we're moving forward.
Yeah. Because I'm the big story with Clare and Dale for me.
Yeah.
And I would think with Bachelor Nation is, all right, you did this, right? You fell in love in a couple days. You got engaged in a couple weeks. Is it going to work? You have everyone betting against you, right? If you were taking bets. And so I would love to see an update, an after the final rose update that is months have gone by.
Right.
I don't care about this update. This was let's just wrap this up. But I would love to see an update from Clare and Dale when the show wraps.
I just thought maybe logistically it was because if they didn't air this until weeks from now, that means Clare and Dale had to be silent on social media for another month probably of Tayshia on TV. Maybe they just wanted to let Clare and Dale be able to be out and about. And because if they didn't air this now, people would be wondering what state is their relationship in and all that.
That's a good point. Maybe the show's changing their decisions based off the fact that social media is what it is.
Yeah.
And they'll update people through their social.
Well, what did you think of where they were at?
I don't think Clare did herself any favors
with this conversation.
Yeah. For her critics. And again,
why?
I like Clare because it's
how rather?
What is her criticism that you're seeing a lot of that she's getting?
That this all happened too fast.
Yeah, and that it's people have used the word crazy.
Oh. Wow. Have they? I think
and it just seemed still not
Grounded?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go. That's the perfect way to say it.
That was a great way.
She was yelling about babies right away.
Dale, because like to me, Dale looks like a guy who's honest and earnest about his feelings for Claire. Mm-hmm. But he is not someone, he like all the other guys, came into this world he knew nothing about. Really, like I try to put myself in Dale's shoes, and the only way to do that is to imagine myself on Andy's season, to have shown up. And I thought Andy was beautiful when I met her. As soon as she gave me the first impression rose, I felt this kind of like intoxication of like, oh, is this, holy shit, am I, like, is this what? And then I had a very early one-on-one date, and I was like really all in. Now, I wasn't delusional. So I think to myself, what would have happened if Andy would have just done what Claire did and been like, I only want to talk to you. I only want to be with you. I would have been excited. I would have been like, great.
Yeah.
Sure. Right. I would have known. I wouldn't have known anything. And so then all of a sudden Chris shows up, and it seemed like Chris kind of pressured those two. At least it seemed like Chris pressured Dale into an engagement.
Interesting. Well, I will directly quote Claire here when Chris said, a proposal. Do you want that? And she said, yes. That's the dumbest question you've ever asked me.
No, I understand. And I'm not trying to put anything on Chris. Yes, but like it was just the way it was aired. Dale was the last to know he was getting engaged. Neil Lane knew before Dale, it seemed like.
Well, I mean, we don't know the timing of everything. And at the end of the day, Dale could have said no. I mean, 100%.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And what I mean by it is like, so Dale, and so like, I put myself in that position of like, he must have been like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But you know what? I do love this girl. So he got engaged. Yeah. Fine. Right. Now you're asking me like, when you're looking at this interview, I think Dale just wants to like what you would assume a normal person would be like, all right, we still need to get to know each other. Yes. Right. Let's, I'm with the girl I want to be with. We are in love. Mm-hmm. Well,
here's the thing. I think anybody going on this show, you have to know this is The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. It likely ends with a proposal. Yeah. So we all go in knowing that. I also think that a lot of people have been analyzing Dale's like facial expressions or his tone. Dale's tone and his face just seem even to me. I don't look at that. I'm like, let's listen to the words he is saying, the words the man is saying. And he is saying every step of the way, the past couple episodes, he's been like, yes, Claire, I've been wanting to say those things to you too. Yes, I am in love with you too. Yes, no, I want to propose. But he also said when they got engaged, and now we got to put in the work, which I thought was a very wise, aware thing to say. And then, Claire is saying we want to have babies, and Dale's like, I kind of want to get married first. So yeah, I think Dale has these feelings. But are they on the same page about the timeline? And that can be an issue in relationships for anybody anywhere. You have the feelings, but are you in different life places? Are you on the same page about the timeline, about how you're coming into it with how you want things to go? And so that I don't totally know the answer to.
As not to quote Spencer from last night, and actually I don't know if Spencer got this from Matt LaFleur, who's the Packers coach, and I don't know if the Packers coach made it up, but Claire's all gas and no brakes. Like she is still going. Mm-hmm. And to your point, Dale's just like, all right, no, I love you. Yeah, we're engaged.
Yeah.
And babies. Just
I know. I mean, yeah.
And great on Chris for calling out Dale for, and not calling him out, but just being like, Dale like just straight up ignored Claire's baby comment. Uh-huh. He was in the middle of a sentence. Claire yells out babies. Dale just keeps on.
There was at one point in the season when the guys called Dale a politician, and I didn't understand it at the time, but as I've watched him more, I think Dale is kind of somebody who finesses and evens out situations, and that might be a good, again, yin-yang thing, like a counterbalance to Claire. It will just be the question of, is it a good counterbalance or does it create friction? Like it's always that thing of opposites attract. Well, that can work if you balance each other. It doesn't work if it means you're not on the same page. So I don't know.
I can see why he's a great antidote for kind of Claire and a great calming presence.
Yes. And what I keep going back to is this has been amazing television. And if Claire and Dale really work out and are happy. That is so great. That's so great.
Totally. I'm absolutely rooting for them. Yes. I would love I wish nothing but happiness for Tayshia. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't it, as a fan, be ironic and kind of poetic for Clare and Dale to make it and Tayshia not to find love in this journey? Because right now everyone is seeing Tayshia as this breath of fresh air, more grounded, more thoughtful in her decisions, and you would assume that person would be the person who's going to find love in this atmosphere because they're going to take their time to make decisions and think things through. And it would be ironic and poetic that fast forward a year from now, Dale and Clare are just crushing it in their relationship, and Tayshia, it didn't work out. I mean, that would be ironic and wild.
What I go back to a lot, and is I get Clare keeps saying when you know, and I don't really relate to that. I've never had this feeling of I know it. This is the one. On my first date with Chris, I was like, I don't know. I mean, seems great. Who knew? A different side of him. I'm not sure. So I don't relate to that. I do think Clare knows what she wants, but I don't know how she knows yet if that's Dale because they haven't known each other that long at this point.
But
it's do you believe when you know? I don't know.
She is choosing to fill in the gaps and hope that she's right. I mean, that is the reality, but it's just it's perspective.
I also have one burning question for Clare and Dale, which I have not heard her address anywhere, which is she came for Matt James for him. I think it was being on Cameo. Yeah. She said, I mean, she never said Matt James in her tweet. I shouldn't say that.
She came for Matt James.
Yeah. She said, I don't want anybody doing interviews. And over the summer, I think Dale was doing some interviews. And I know that Dale's a former football player, but he has said he wants to be Ryan Seacrest. He wants this, this career and all these things. And so
he has said that?
Yes, Dale, he did an interview over the summer where he said he wanted to be Ryan Seacrest. That was his goal. So I'm just wondering, have they talked about that? Have they talked about
That's
what?
Interesting.
I want to ask them both that. I want to ask, how did you talk this through? How did you resolve this? Or was there any resolution that needed to happen there? Because I'm curious, since Clare said it was not something she wanted her guys to be doing.
I think, and I think what's fascinating about that, because Clare's first time on the show was a Juan Pablo season. Mm-hmm. It was a different franchise then. For all of the right reasons talk back then, that was this all for show, and I've said this multiple times. That question is far more legitimate now with the way the show is structured, with social media. There's this perceived playbook, so there isn't a person who goes on the show. And I don't fault them for it, for not wondering what they can make of this opportunity, because you've seen many of us do something with it, right? Clare, being the earnest person that she is, really is no, I want my right reasons, guys. I only have time for people who are only here for me. And that was it was never going to happen. And it is fascinating to wonder, will Clare just ignore the reality that Dale, and no fault to him, was a lot he had these dreams about using this platform of going on the Bachelorette, not maybe to also find love, but to be a host.
Right. And like you said, I don't fault anybody for it, because no matter what, you're going to come out of this with a level of fame or a reputation. The show gives that to you no matter what. So use it the best you can. Yeah. Absolutely. But I'm interested.
The question is, you want to be a fly on the wall of when Clare finds this interview.
Yes.
And does she go, makes sense, I get it? Or does she be have you been lying to me this whole time?
I don't know. I want to ask them. Both.
Yeah, I do. I don't know if we'll ever. But we agree that we absolutely wish them the best.
Yes, and we thank them for absolutely unbelievable television.
Thank you, Clare and Dale. So we get back to Tayshia.
Back to Tayshia's season now. Back to this. I don't know what to call it. I'm Tayshia's season, Clare's season. I know it's the same season, but I just keep saying Clare and Tayshia's seasons.
Another reason why I really enjoyed this episode and was thankful that we're getting back to normal was that it was such the Clare and Dale show that a lot of the conversations I had with friends about the show was I'm more spoiler free going forward than I've ever been. And I've been doing a good job the past couple seasons. I really had no idea how it was going to end on Peter's season and et cetera, et cetera. But what wasn't fun is that I really knew none of these guys. And if someone was who do you think is going to be Tayshia's top 4 or 5? I'm no idea.
There was no bracket to be made.
No. And now you have
your bracket.
Some theories. Yes. Like, I didn't know who Ben, Army Ranger veteran from Venice, California, was. And now I think he's top 4.
He has a few really nice moments. I thought he handled the roast well, and then when Claire left, he had a nice thing to say. I think he's a dark horse of solidness.
They really highlighted his, I guess, infatuation. We can call it his of Tayshia, but it came across as endearing, right? It didn't seem. There's subtlety when you watch it. Does he seem like the crazy person who's in love, or does he seem like a guy who's just like, I think I might have found my wife? And it came across as the latter. And I could see us seeing a lot more of Ben, and I could see that.
I loved Ivan's giddiness over Tayshia.
Same.
He was like, she's my speed. She's so, like, he was just so happy. I just loved his joy.
I loved Ivan from his package, and now we're getting to see more of Ivan. I could see Ivan being top 4, top 5.
I always have liked Easy. He's always been kind of like the fun narrator.
I love Easy, but like I love him as the narrator. Yeah. I don't think Easy's top 4 at all.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. He was scaring me a little bit also. He was triggering me. He kept saying, he said something like, we could have this incredible love story where we could just wind up together after this crazy year of a pandemic in 2020. I was like, no, Clare and Dale did that. They did that already in Easy. No. We're on a different story now. It's a different book.
I don't know. Easy's not my top 4. I think Bennett's going to fade out too a little bit. I think he'll be around for a while, but I don't think he's top 4.
A lot of people I've been seeing in comments have been saying that Bennett like gives them JPJ energy. So they're wondering if Tayshia will like him.
That's what we said last week.
And that makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. I could be totally wrong. My gut tells me Bennett's not top 4. If I had to pick a top 4 now, I'm going to go Ben. I'm going to go Spencer.
Hottie for shows guy. Okay.
Zach C.
Well, Zach C, we see in the promo saying I'm falling in love with you, so we know he made
Zach C, which I would never have guessed, but I'm only basing this off the promo.
Yeah, right.
Which is a mistake people should sometimes make.
Tayshia said in this episode though, she said Zach, she said something like, I don't want a boy and Zach's a man. Yeah. And I think he's like in his mid-30s. I think he has a good maturity to him. And I liked him on the group date. He was kind of funny. He was making jokes about the date. He had like again, just kind of a Tayshia, an easygoing vibe that I liked.
Yeah,
Who else did you say Ivan? You think Ivan will?
Then you
got Peter and Brandon and Peter mustache 10 siblings. Peter, Brandon, and Ivan. I don't know where they're top 6.
I'm not sure about Ivan. He's so sweet.
I think
so
Ivan's top
her.
6,
okay.
But I don't know if he's top 4.
He didn't give me. I felt more when I just instinctually he was into her than she was necessarily vibing with him. But but we're still at this point. I couldn't name more than 4 or 5 guys for you at this point. So I don't know if we'll see. Like I always think about how in Caitlin Bristow's season, Ben Higgins. I didn't know who Ben was. And then all of a sudden he kind of popped. Yeah. And then he was around at the end. And when I've interviewed Ben before, Ben has said that he was like sleeping alone in a dark room and nervous that season. And then he finally came out of his shell. And so I'm like, where are these guys going to be at? Are they going to be so ready to come out of their shell? Are some of them still going to be kind of, I'm still grappling with this environment I'm in. Like we have a lot to see.
Yeah.
They seem to be having fun on the
splash ball.
And
it's fascinating because like Chasen, for example, he was one of the few people because he got some alone time with Claire that we got to know.
Good-looking guy.
Good-looking guy. And I think we all were like, oh, Chasen, you know? And I think he's going to fade. I think it's not there with Tayshia. And then what I find fascinating, and I think it's cool for people to watch, is because we've had 2 bachelorettes, and there's always questions about like producer influence. I think it's going to be interesting to see a guy who would have gone further if it were Claire. Let's say Claire didn't fall in love with Dale, right? And maybe Chasen was never going to be her guy. But it would have been a guy that she's like, I like him. He's cute. I find him attractive. There's some sort of connection. Maybe Jason was that person, right? And I think it's going to be fascinating to see which people are in Claire's, could have been in Claire's top 4 versus Tayshia. And I think like Chasen's someone who might have gone further with Clare, but won't with Tayshia.
Yeah, well, because you have your Blake with the beard who was buying the books and all in, and then you have your Ivan who, when he said Tayshia was more his speed, I was kind of thinking, so you were kind of going on the show. You're like, maybe I'll be into Clare, but now you're like, no, Tayshia. Like, okay, it's like some of them will flip, you know.
Blake is going to go home on a 1-on-1 or a 1-on-2.
Who's Blake?
2-on-1. Blake, the guy I hate to, I love to hate.
Oh, Blake with the beard. I just said his name. Sorry, I only know him from the beard.
He's going to go home on a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-1.
Interesting. Well,
because
the 2-on-1 is going to have Spencer
because
on
he's
it.
the earnest person, you know,
He's
Blake. So give him the 1-on-1, get him excited, sit him down, and Tayshia is going to be like,
energy. Nope. Ashley, very invested. No.
I mean, I just mean
intense.
Intense. Yes,
So,
the intensity is the same, but I feel like it's.
I mean, I don't mean exactly the same.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so we had was the group date first or the 1-on-1 first with Brendan? I don't remember.
The group date was first.
The group
so
date.
It was it's like, hey, let's play basketball in a pool.
I mean, they can only do so much at this resort,
so
and we give them credit. And they were in Speedos this time.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything that happened. I remember her telling them
I feel like Spencer
he
works a lot on his arms and he needs to squat more.
Oh, that Riley guy hit him in the face.
Which I appreciate. I appreciate Spencer. I mean, he has no fear. I mean, he goes in there. I actually like a guy who is playing hard. Yeah. You know, I have no problem with Spencer. Like, they highlighted it, but like he's playing. He's competitive.
Playing a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley actually said he ran into his elbow.
Oh.
It's fine.
Riley was calling him lunch meat, I think.
Yeah.
I really liked Riley.
Yeah.
For just because
Riley's great TV as well.
He's great TV. I also like it was cool. We don't get to hear that as much about like Riley talking about his childhood or his friends and like the bologna sandwich reference. Like
fried bologna.
I thought that was just like it. I don't know. There was substance there, and just talking about like
every moment,
talking about entitlement versus not. I thought that was interesting. May not have been fair for Spencer. I don't know. I mean, it looks like Riley looks at this like California boy who. And
I think we're also coming into these guys know each other. They've spent a lot of time waiting for Clare, a lot of time in this house sitting around waiting and getting to know each other, and then the new guys are coming in. It's very like schoolyard vibes, like the new kid at school, you know?
I don't have any sympathy for Spencer because like he asked for a target to be put on his back.
That's the way he came in. Easy got the group date rose. That kind of surprised me, but also I like Easy.
That totally surprised me. I love Easy, but I just, I don't know. I guess we didn't see any connection between her and Easy.
Clare and Easy?
No, Tayshia.
Tayshia.
Well, we in fairness to Easy, like the only connection we really saw was her and Spencer and her and Brandon, right? Like the rest of the guys, we don't really know what she thinks of any of these guys.
Right. No, and that was, I was also happy to be wondering what she was thinking. I was very glad for that. That was a breath of fresh air. To me, wonder.
My guess is I felt like the Easy group date rose was an attaboy for like, it was almost like Easy, thanks for helping us get through to where we are now.
Yes.
For being the voice of reason.
For narrating. Yes.
You deserve this, Rose.
It was a career Emmy.
Yes. That's what it felt like to me.
I see that. And I felt we got a lot of those moments. I think even at the end of the splash ball date, she said, like, remember at Claire's dodgeball date, the guys like walked home naked. At the end of the splash ball date, Tayshia said, okay, the winners get like a barbecue with me, but you guys, I am going to see you later. Like, don't worry. I'm going to see you later. I was like, we just keep telling these guys, it's going to be okay. Like, there's light at the end of this tunnel.
I'm shocked by how much I enjoyed getting back to normal.
It was so
from this episode. I'm really curious if I'm still enjoying it 3 episodes from now when we're I don't know, we'll be starving for drama, will we get drama?
I want to get emotionally invested and I hope we do. Yeah. And that one-on-one date with Brendan made me feel like we might. I really enjoyed it. Is it Brendan or Brandon? I keep saying Brendan. Okay.
Because there's just 2 of us too. It doesn't matter.
Brandon was great.
I like him. I liked obviously the connection. That's why. Here's what we don't know, though. How much does Tayshia really like Brandon?
I mean, she started talking about. Is
it really a coincidence that Tayshia's first one-on-one was a guy who has a very identical story to her own, so that America can be reminded of Tayshia's journey of love and the struggles she's had in the past. It's very convenient.
Very good television.
So what I'm saying is I don't know how much Claire's into Brandon.
Tayshia.
Whatever. Tayshia. Thank you.
I've done that.
I don't know, right? Yeah. I like Brandon. I see the connection. Tayshia said I can marry him right now. And maybe she just was like, again, Tayshia showed up and she's like,
she just, I mean,
you can't give it to Spencer. You gave him the first impression rose. So like, you can't, like, if you like Spencer, don't give him the first 101 if you don't want to have a target on the guy's back. So it wasn't a coincidence that Brandon got it. So I'm curious. So then for me, it's harder to really read, how it is.
I mean, I interviewed Tayshia and I asked her, how quickly did you get the call and then get in the bubble? And she said it was just a couple days. And I asked her, how much did you know about what had happened with Clare Dale? And she seemed to indicate like not too much. Yeah. So I think she was coming in again, like, so just in her mind, this is the Bachelorette. Like, she's just doing the normal thing. So like we said, she was saying these things. I mean, she was saying big things about Brandon, that again were a bit triggering for me after Clare and Dale, but it made me think she, at this point, like we said, she knows that I think she's attracted to him and that they really relate to each other on their pasts.
Would say she didn't know then.
At the dinner, he said.
At the dinner.
Yes.
But I'm saying picking him for the
date.
Because like the timing of the 101 is insignificant, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm completely support that was great timing and good TV. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is, if
I'm Tayshia in a normal way, I would say, what a great first date that was set up for me by a matchmaker who knew what I would have in common with someone.
Yes. But I guess what I'm saying is, like we kind of mentioned before, I'm not, even though their one-on-one date seemed so great and they had such a connection.
You're wondering what will happen.
I don't know. I still can't put them in the top 4.
Interesting.
And there is something about Ben.
You love Ben.
That just makes me like
Ben has like good guy in a Hallmark movie vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
like he's the lumberjack down the road and your car breaks down.
As a viewer.
Like, let me change your tire.
Retriever.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was like the show was letting us know, you're going to get to know this guy. We're going to give you a little bit of a tease, but we,
keep watching.
Keep watching. It's not his time yet. We need to let you know that Tayshia had her own struggle. She was divorced. She's looking for love. Here's this guy named Brandon who's also had that. They were late, and it's okay to be divorced and still look for love and all those things.
We were on a drag. We were in an Indy 500 race, and now we're on a road trip. Yeah. And they're good for different reasons. Yeah. And now we're seeing the sights, and we don't know where we might stop for dinner.
Do you have a prediction?
A prediction?
Give me your top 6.
Oh God, I don't even know if I can remember 6 of them. Oh, you have a visual aid.
And then,
okay, helpful.
We have Peter and Spencer, and then we have Montel and Noah, and I do not remember Noah at all. I can't even. I'm pretty sure I can pick Montel. I'm pretty sure it was the salmon jacket. I have no idea what Noah.
I mean, I'm gonna say Zach C because I'm falling in love with you is in the promo. This is top 6. I'm gonna say.
I mean, that could be next week for all we know.
I'm gonna say Ivan if this is top 6 because I'm gonna say Brendan. I'm gonna say Ben. That's 4. I'm going to throw Chasen in there. I don't know. I disagree with you on Chasen. I think he's a good-looking guy, and he seems really solid, and so I think he sticks around.
Peter was in the promo without a mustache, and he looked like him and Tayshia were really sucking face.
Wow, powerful. So you think he's around to shave. He stays. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that, again, could be next week.
I think we could, yes. A top 6, we got to have one guy in there who was a newbie. So, okay, sure. I'll agree with you on that.
Oh, Spencer? You don't think you have Spencer's top 6?
No, I don't. I think Spencer was hot energy. And it's like...
You think he'll burn out?
Yes. I think it was like he is a guy you dated in college for a minute. It was fun. And then bye.
I think Spencer is Tayshia's kryptonite. She is the guy she has dated her whole life, that she's instantly attracted to, that she shouldn't date, that is not her guy, but she cannot resist. And I think that will be great TV, and he's definitely top 4.
And isn't that suggested with the dad conversation? Like, yes. Like in the promo, the dad conversation, he's like, I don't know what you see.
I think Tayshia's mature, and I think Tayshia's past that maturity wise. I think she's past her kryptonite. I do.
I don't see that as a criticism. Like I don't think no one has ever really passed their kryptonite.
I disagree.
Especially in a TV show about looking for love that promotes drama.
Wow, let's get into what your kryptonite is. I have a lot of questions.
I'm 42. I'm not over it.
Yeah. I don't. That's not a criticism to Tayshia.
I'm not saying it is a criticism. I just think that you can be past your kryptonite, and I think she is. We disagree on Spencer. This is polarizing. This is our new division.
Oh my God.
I think it would behoove the show to not let. Let's say Spencer sucks as a human.
Okay.
And that he really is not. I think it would behoove the show to let her find this out about Spencer slowly.
Interesting.
And wait till the end of the season rather than the beginning.
Okay. I don't think he's a big enough character for that. I don't.
You see him on a 2-on-1, don't you?
I see him like it's going to burn bright and then be gone. Like I think he gave us all he could give with the kind of douchey comment in the beginning, and I don't think we're going to get much past that. But that's my thought.
I know, like,
because we've already shut down the douchiness too. The guys have already put him in his place.
But remember when we remember Peter's season early on?
Who was he? A pilot or a
guy?
Ferry captain?
Remember the first 2 episodes with? I mean, we all thought Hannah Ann was going to be some super villain, and the whole champagne gate, and the mom, and Hannah, like, and then she just like.
Then she became normalized,
yeah, glided into like that could easily be a Spencer thing.
You're
for
right.
A while.
That's very much.
I'm also like you're getting into my head because like you're dating Chris Harrison, and I know you guys try to keep a safe distance with spoilers because you have a job to do, and I'm just wondering how good you. I don't know.
I have no idea who the top 6 are.
I don't know if I believe that, but that's fine. Either way.
Okay.
I stand by what I said.
Okay. I can't wait for us to see who's right on this one. Who's on the right side of Spencer history.
I mean,
here we go. All right. Well, so those are our top 6. You have questions, but also support for the one-on-one date. What happened after the one-on-one date? I don't remember. I'm blanking because I was just enjoying myself.
This kind of ended. I do remember saying, was that it?
I mean, there was a lot packed in that episode.
It went fast. I really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. Every week I felt like that. Every week I almost am a little, have to get my head straight on what to comment on because so much is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? I think we covered it all.
I mean, fireworks for everyone. Let's do it.
Oh, we did have our first fireworks.
I know.
Have we even, like some of the stuff, have we had a hot tub yet this season? I don't think they want to get any more hot.
No, it's a pool.
They're so hot there.
That is shocking.
Yeah.
Because of all the things they can't do, they could easily
get in a hot tub.
Get in the hot tub.
120 degrees, who wants to be in a hot tub?
I will say Chris told me it was even still so hot at night there. I think he was shocked by that. He thought it was going to get
doesn't
cooler
like in
at
the desert it cools off at night?
No, he said it was still so hot.
I was there in Palm Springs at that time. It was definitely like 92 degrees still. Dark at 9 o'clock at night.
You know what else is crazy? Awful. We haven't seen in a promo anywhere a helicopter moment, have we?
Well, because where are they going to go? Because the helicopter pilot would have had to. The helicopter pilot would have had to quarantine.
You're right.
And then, like,
pick them up, fly them in a circle, come back.
I mean, she's walking a horse by a pool patio.
Oh, how about how Tayshia was pulling that horse herself? I said, wow, we got her doing the work. Everybody's doing extra jobs this season.
Everyone's doing a little bit more.
Also, like, look at this very scenic horse ride. Through the patio of the pool area.
We got Chris Harrison serving
through
drinks.
The driveway. Yeah.
Yep. Everybody's pulling their weight.
Will Tayshia find love? She has less men and a shorter amount of time to do so.
I mean, what blows my mind is we see her in the promo in that white dress. I'm like,
but also in like an apocalyptic scene. Like I know the dead palms.
I mean, that's
the dead palm trees. It's like
that's just a good season promo. Will Tayshia be in a relationship AFR?
So again, when I interviewed her this week, I said, Tayshia, there's nothing that moment is other than a proposal moment. So what happens? She wouldn't tell me. I said, are you in love? Are you engaged right now? She wouldn't tell me. Okay. And sometimes like Rachel Lindsay's season, I think she went into press saying she was engaged. So that was like we were teasing to that.
That is a decision that is made early on with me. My storyline was like, oh, can Nick ever find love? So like it was very like I wasn't allowed to answer that. With other people, it was more about how yes, they found love, who is it going to be and what does the journey look like?
And with Clare, we went in, they danced around it, but we all went in knowing the rumors were just too palpable
so
and out there.
It makes a lot of sense that
to know nothing.
We
know nothing for Tayshia. I think Tayshia's I don't know. I think Tayshia's the type where she is like so likable and lovable. These guys are all so excited for her that I think like many of them could really fall for her. And I think Rob Mills said in an interview that she falls in love with multiple guys. She told me, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm so tired, I need coffee. She told me that in our interview. She said, I think she confirmed she falls for multiple guys. So I think I think we could see how we have a proposal dress. We have her in a white dress.
It's a strong, I mean, granted, it's the teaser trailer, but that's
she is crying.
It's just strong. No, but like
strong.
They can do a lot of things with a upcoming on this season trailer, but when you get a quote from your father saying what he said,
this is the wrong person. How can you not see this?
That's
Although I just flashed back to, do you remember how in Colton's season we saw that promo with the ring box, and then it was never like a ring?
Yeah, but that's easy to cheat. Give me a ring box. Let's film it for 5 seconds.
I know. So what do we?
They're not going to bring Tasha's dad in and be like, "Hey, can you say this line?"
Oh no, for sure. I was just now thinking
they're not doing that.
No, you're right. I was thinking about the white dress.
I think Tasha's dad said that on tape, and they could change it up. Who knows? But traditionally, they bring them with 2 guys, and
now I'm super stressed out.
And
again.
that's like, that's a classic case of like Tasha's favorite is someone her dad's like, "This is your kryptonite, Spencer."
Nick, we get it, Nick. You're right. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, like also like you could be so wrong. And like
I'm walking away so stressed out now. I had my episode of enjoyment and happiness and easiness. Now I'm stressed out again. What will happen for Tayshia?
Either way, well done, Chris Harrison and the show, and I'm enjoying watching it, and I'm excited, more excited than I thought I would be to watch the remainder of this season, and excited to see getting to know the rest of these guys.
Ringing endorsements from Nick Viall.
Who cares what I think? Take it easy on Clare and Dale. Wish them the best, and I hope we get another update from them in a couple of months.
What if she is pregnant?
Clare.
She'd be super excited about it.
Yeah.
Babies!
I mean,
babies.
This would be the first pregnant bachelorette we'd actually had in quite a while.
Just going to throw it out there.
Yes.
If Dale really likes Clare.
He says he's in love with her, yes. He said he loved her with every part of his being in this after the final rose that we got tonight.
I totally believe.
Yeah.
I said that about Vanessa, and I totally meant it. And then we got to know each other a little bit more, and it's just things change. How much do you feel like there's going to be any pressure, if any at all, from Dale's point of view to make this work, while simultaneously trying to be the next Ryan Seacrest?
You just hit the nail on what I was going to say, and that is why I want to ask both of them about it. It really is why. And I'd say this with like, I've interviewed Clare a couple times. I like Clare. She's always been lovely to me. I want the best for them. I just want to ask them these questions because we've watched them go on this journey, and I have these questions. And it's only questions about what I've seen from both of them. I also wish them the best, and we shall see. The journey isn't over.
And no matter what happens, it's totally fine and acceptable, and you should just wish everyone happiness.
Nick, thank you for having me here today.
It's always a pleasure, Lauren. I love it's always fun to talk with you about the show and just about everything. Anything else you want to mention you're working on? How's your love life going?
Oh, my love life's so great. I miss Chris Harrison desperately. I've not seen him in, I think it's been a month and a half.
Oh, wow.
And watch Roses and Rosé on Entertainment Tonight's YouTube channel. That's where I review The Bachelorette. It's up every Wednesday morning after the episode. We have a lot of fun and drink a lot of wine. And that's it, really. Yeah. What about you?
Just same old.
Same old.
Yeah.
Okay. Will he find love? That was the question. It's always the question.
I'm doing fine.
I know. You're doing great. You look great. Love your outfit today. You look like you are ready to go start in Greece.
Greece?
Thanks.
Yes.
Like it came with a sweater. It was really cold this morning, and then I put it on. So this is really not the look I was going for.
It's very cute. You kind of look like the guys in Palm Springs in these white T-shirts they keep wearing.
I mean,
I wish I only wore a jean and a t-shirt in suits on The Bachelorette.
So LA.
Because Bachelor Nation has no patience for fashion risks.
No.
You wore a turtleneck. Speaking of, you wore a turtleneck once that
in
I
Finland.
Absolutely loved. Yeah. It was so good.
That's appropriate though in Finland.
Yes. I thought Brandon looked good in the turtleneck, but you're right, nutty given the weather.
Wild. All right. Thank you for having me.
What do we have? Who do we have tomorrow?
Kalyn Allen.
Kalyn Allen, everybody.
Ooh.
What a delight he is. He has a new Christmas album out. A ton of fun. Talk about life, his journey out here, what overcoming adversity, his thoughts on working with and for Ellen.
Yeah.
Great. Don't forget to send your questions at asknick@castmedia.com, cast with a K. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You're crazy.
Or Wednesday. Or like whenever you listen to this.
Bye.